Royal Rumble has came and went, and as you guys could imagine, it did not go the way that I thought it was going to go and or wanted it to go. So without further ado, we'll just get right into the video and hopefully be able to rip through it and make it pretty short and sweet. It is, my watch is dead. So it is Saturday night, right after the Royal Rumble. So I did want to have a couple remarks about the pre-show that was yesterday, Friday evening, afternoon. Go through a couple of the notes I had here. The host for the pre-show was Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. I thought they did a pretty good job. The show actually opened with, and I had this in there to get this guy's name, and I did not get his name. He was a player for the Pacers. So I'm going to butcher this guy's name, but Tyrese Halliburton. Yeah. So he was there. He opened the pre-show Friday night. Also made a remark that he was going to have a game today and was still going to be at the Royal Rumble, which the Pacers did beat the Hawks 132 to 127, which it sounds like the Pacers are having a really good season. I don't know. I don't watch basketball. They did have some speculation that he was going to actually compete in the Royal Rumble, which he did not do. He was just there, which I'm sure after a long game, I didn't really see that coming. A couple of the people that talked, I kind of listed it off here. Obviously, the basketball player guy. Triple H, Rey Mysterio, CM Punk, Sami Zayn. Drew McIntyre interrupted Sami Zayn. If you haven't seen the pre-show, I don't think you need to watch the whole thing if you've already seen the Royal Rumble, but you should watch Drew McIntyre interrupt Sami and almost get interrupted by Michael Cole, but that did not go in Michael Cole's favor. What a promo cut. It seemed like Drew was just completely off the rails, kind of went off, not even talking about wrestling anymore, talking about people who may be overweight, talking about America's education system. That's probably a good roast in and of itself there. But yeah, if you have not seen the pre-show, go back, at least watch that one part. After that, Bayley, Naomi, and Bianca Belair, Nia Jax, Liv Morgan, and Raquel Rodriguez all came out during the pre-show, talked about how they were going to win, blah, 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 blah. But none of them did. So we'll get to that in a little bit here. But for the actual results of the show, I'm going to start off with not the Royal Rumble matches and end with my maybe least favorite Royal Rumble match of all time. If you've seen my previous videos, which is only like 10 of you, you'll know why it's my least favorite Royal Rumble match of all time. So this was the second match, DIY versus the Motor City Machine Guns. It was a 2 out of 3 falls match for the WWE Tag Team Championships. DIY won 2-1. It's very rare you see any 2 out of 3 falls match that goes one of the teams or one of the opponents getting 0 falls. So I kind of already had a feeling this was going to end 2-1, whichever way it went. You did have the Street Profits come in, assist DIY with the victory, and then beat up DIY after the match. Obviously building some sort of tag team match between DIY and the Street Profits. Next was Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. What a match. They really beat the crap out of each other. It was kind of a unification match between the real champion and not the real champion. Hopefully Kevin Owens doesn't hear me say that or else he's gonna kick my ass. When this match was announced, it totally reminded me of Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn in a ladder match for the NXT Championship. Kevin Owens was also not successful in that match. We did do a video for it for Wrestling Express many, many years ago. if I can figure out how to add this to that video, to this video, and some sort of pop-up wherever it works, I will, because I think it's a good video. And like I said, it was kind of the first thing I thought of when I thought of Kevin Owens in a championship ladder match, because I've seen this before, and it didn't go well for him the last time I saw it, and we were there live. This one, not any better for him. Got Alabama slammed through a ladder on the outside, and I thought it would have been kind of funny if they had just left him there for the entire Royal Rumble. Turns out, I guess you can't really. I guess they could have done it. I think it would have been funny, but they did not do that. So next up, we'll start with the women's Royal Rumble match. I'm going to read this as it is. Granted, this is from Wikipedia, so it may or may not be accurate. So for the women's Royal Rumble, number 1 was Io Sky. Number 2 was Liv Morgan. Number 3 was Roxanne Perez from NXT. Number 4, which, for the record, real quick, Roxanne Perez entered her 3rd Royal Rumble, I believe, and also now has the record for females for the longest time at 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 47 seconds. That's very impressive. Number 4 is Lyra Valkyria. Now, Lyra had a bit of a wardrobe issue immediately starting the match, which I probably would have just eliminated myself at that point. If I know I'm not going to win and I have the risk of showing people something that I did not want to show them when I walked out there, maybe it's time to just leave. But it looked like one of the referees, I can't think of her name right now, went over, helped get everything situated, and she was able to continue. Number 5, Chelsea Green. Number 6, B-Fab. Number 7, Ivy Nile. Number 8, Zoe Stark. Number 9, Lash Legend, entering her first, I believe, Royal Rumble from NXT. Number 10, Bianca Belair. Number 11, Shayna Baszler. Number 12, Bayley. Number 13, Sonya Deville. Number 14, Maxine Dupree. 15 was Naomi. Jada Parker was number 16. Number 17 was Piper Niven. Number 18 was Natalia. Number 19 was Jordan Grace. Number 20 was Michin. Number 21 was Alexa Bliss. They didn't really do a good job of showing it on camera, at least from what I've noticed, but she did have a bit of a tribute jacket where it said, I guess, Fiend/Friend Forever. So that was really nice to see. Like, welcome back, Alexa Bliss. I'm hoping that this is not just a one-time deal and we actually get to see her back wrestling again. Whether she commits fully with the old kind of Fiend gimmick or she kind of goes back to where she was before, she joins the Wyatt Six, I don't know. But it was nice to see her back, and I'd like to see her kind of as a permanent staple on one of the shows. It has her as unaffiliated with a brand right now. But yeah, hopefully we'll have her back for a little bit. Number 22, Zelina Vega. Number 23, Candice LeRae. Number 24, Stephanie Vaquer from NXT. Number 25, February calendar person, Trish Stratus in the Hall of Fame. I lied. I was going to say the only Hall of Famer, but I believe the Bella Twins are in the Hall of Fame, which kind of ruined number 30. But we'll continue. Number 26, Raquel Rodriguez. Number 27, Charlotte Flair. Number 28, Julia. Number 29, Nia Jax. And number 30, Nikki Bella. Not a super big, surprising number 30. I thought she had some controversy around her, but it seems like that's not a thing. So I don't know. Number 27, going back, Charlotte Flair won the whole deal. Now, a lot of people are upset with her return not being a surprise. A lot of people are upset with feeling that she did not necessarily need to win the Royal Rumble. First things first, she became the first 2-time Women's Royal Rumble winner, which is pretty cool. I think if anyone was going to get it or should have got it, it's good that it's her. Secrets are interesting. I did see a post that she had made that had pretty much said, "My dad can't keep a secret, so I can't tell him when I'm returning, because if I told him when I was returning, then he'd ruin it," which kind of ruined it because it let everyone know that she was returning at some point. So I think with that getting out and around, I think the surprise was already kind of ruined a little bit. So I don't really think that them doing the videos messed anything up after that. At least that's just my opinion. At least according to Wikipedia right now, it looks like Nia Jax had the most eliminations at 9, and Charlotte Flair with the win for the women. Next is the men. Here's where it gets not as fun anymore. There was a video clip of Kai Cenat, KC, not happy that John Cena lost. There's also a video of him not happy that, well, I guess I can't really tell if he was happy or not happy that Logan Paul lost. Neither of them were happy with each other. I'll just say that. Getting into our countdown. At number 1, Rey Mysterio. Number 2, Penta. Number 3, Chad Gable. Number 4, Carmelo Hayes. Number 5, Santos Escobar. Number 6, Otis. Number 7, Braun Breaker. Now, number 8 was Akira Tozawa. Carmelo, I believe, attacked Akira Tozawa. I don't remember. Akira Tozawa was unable to compete, which they should have just let him compete anyway, in my opinion. Anyway, they had I Show Speed, just happened to be backstage, and Triple H said, "Yo, Speed, get out there." And he did. And much like Triple H said in the press conference, I don't know if I've ever seen anyone get hit that hard. I'll go by another person. If you get hit by like a bus, I'm sure buses come pretty quick. But in terms of one person running into another, Braun Breaker hit him so hard. I'm surprised he is still alive. But I Show Speed got an elimination. He technically was part of the group that eliminated Otis. So he got one elimination, and he got to do a little flip. He got to do a little Ronaldo. See that one? That thing? I don't know. You got to do that. So I'll say, although he had a very short time in the Royal Rumble, he's gotten to do more than I've gotten to do in the Royal Rumble. So he got me beat. I will tell you, if someone told me that Braun Breaker was going to hit me that hard, I would not enter the Royal Rumble ever in my life. But he did beat me, so he got me there. Next up, number 9 is Sheamus. Number 10, Jimmy Uso. Number 11, Andrade. Number 12, Jacob Fatu. Number 13, Ludwig Kaiser. Heard some stuff about him and Logan Paul. Not sure if that's true. We'll see. Number 14, The Miz. Number 15, Joe Hendry from TNA. So for some reason, I think Jordynne Grace, I believe, is out of TNA technically right now. She is considered signed with WWE, where Joe Hendry is still technically signed with TNA. So that's why it's popping up differently out here. Anyway, number 16, Roman Reigns. Number 17, Drew McIntyre. Number 18, Finn Balor. Number 19, Shinsuke Nakamura. Number 20, Jey Uso. Number 21, AJ Styles. Kind of a surprise there. Number 22, Braun Strowman. Number 23, John Cena. Number 24, CM Punk. Number 25, Seth freaking Rollins. Number 26, Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Number 27, Sami Zayn. Number 28, Damian Priest. Number 29, LA Knight. And number 30, Logan Paul. So there was 2 people that I did not want to win this match out of 30. And one of them won. I was not very happy about it. KC was not very happy about it. It also seems like Drew McIntyre was not very happy about it. Not sure how legitimate this is. It sounds like he was pretty upset leaving the arena, possibly at one, I guess I don't know if it was one particular person talking about someone had to get their moves in, blah, 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 blah. That was according to PW Insider. So again, I don't know how true that is, but I feel like Drew McIntyre, other than Kevin Owens, who I think maybe, I don't want to say has more of a legitimate reason to be mad. I'd say between Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre, they seem to be the angriest people in WWE right now, point blank, period. And it seems like they kind of go like this week to week. With that being said, yes, Jey Uso won, not super freaking happy about it. I don't remember if it was 6 or 7 losses in his last World Championship matches, but 6 in a row and or 7 in a row is a lot of losses. Another reason why I didn't think Jey was going to win, not just because I didn't want him to win, but because I don't really see where they could take a storyline. The Cody one doesn't really make any sense to me. And then if they put him with Gunther, who he literally just lost to, who I would say is pretty clearly better than him, on top of, I don't know if Gunther can go through another big WrestleMania loss, but I also don't think that Jey would recover from a big WrestleMania loss. So they just put him in a situation where on one side of the coin doesn't really make sense. On the other side of the coin, no one can really lose. One thing I did notice about these Royal Rumbles, they made it pretty clear that it seems like they're only letting the winners pick between the two, like World Champion, WWE Champion deal, which to my knowledge is not true. They can pick whatever championship they want, which is why Charlotte picked the NXT Championship the one time. Obviously now the women have an Intercontinental Championship and a U.S. Championship, and over at NXT they have the North American Championship. So obviously the men just have what they've always had. So I'm not really sure why it seems so specific to, oh, it's got to be Gunther or Cody Rhodes, or it's got to be Tiffany Stratton or Rhea Ripley. They pick whoever they want, whenever they want. Well, not whenever they want. It's at WrestleMania. Another thing that popped up that I saw, and I don't know how true anything I say, I don't know how true it is. But it shows here that every wrestler who has eliminated Roman Reigns from the Royal Rumble has gone on to win the whole thing in that respective year. Well, I guess I could just confirm this right now. Well, this isn't accurate at all. Well, at least it was. 2014, Batista. 2016, Triple H. 2017, Randy Orton. 2018, Shinsuke Nakamura. 2020, Drew McIntyre. 2025, Roman Reigns was eliminated by CM Punk and Seth Rollins, and then Jey Uso won, so that sucks. Anyway, it looks like, at least according to Wikipedia right now, the longest person in the match was Penta at 42 minutes, 4 seconds. I will say the men did a better job at, I don't want to say did a better job because it doesn't matter, but moving the match quicker and having less people in the ring at any given time. That seemed to be more one-on-one, 3, 4, 5 people in the ring at a time with the men. Or with the women, it seemed like they kind of hovered around that like 10 to 15 mark, kind of throughout the whole match. In terms of eliminations, looks like Roman Reigns had the most eliminations at 5, so not that many at all. We go to the post-show. So again, the post-show seemed like Triple H in particular has been going pretty long. I don't know if it's just because he gets super businessy and it's not very interesting to me. I already know what he's gonna say, which I guess if I said this, I'd be wrong. It's gonna have the largest gate, most sales and merch, most people, best show ever, blah, 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 blah. Well, this one in particular, this Royal Rumble, had the 3rd largest gate, which is surprising, but the largest single night gate. I still don't know what that means. If anyone can explain it to me, that'd be great. The hosts for the post show were Peter Rosenberg, Big E, and Joe Tessador. It opened up with Big E getting pretty emotional about Jey Uso's win. Full disclosure, as much as I don't like Jey Uso, I understand being a tag team wrestler guy that had the opportunity to win the world championship. Obviously, Big E hasn't wrestled in a while, but to see someone like Jey Uso, who he had these big tag team feuds with, who just like him, they said would never amount to anything in singles competition, get a big victory like this. I get it. There's certain people that I don't like, but I will allow people that I like to like them because of whatever relationship they have in particular. Just because I hate someone doesn't mean that everyone has to hate them, but it does mean that I'm right. They did have Jackie Redmond do a little interview out on the floor with Jey Uso and his son, which was kind of weird in my opinion, but I just don't like him. So everything he does is gonna suck. Next up in the actual press conference was Charlotte, who kind of did a bit of a, I don't want to say different. She had this almost like a, I don't want to say a calm confidence to her. It seemed, and I think one of the questions that was asked kind of talked about it. She seemed very confident, but not her usual confidence. It almost seemed like an older, calmer, almost like when Randy Orton came back and you could tell he was having a little bit more fun and he just had this aura about him, which I hate these new stupid words that people use, but I think it's a good word for it. They did mention the possibility of Cody Rhodes having multiple injuries. He's a big press conference guy. He was not at the press conference, so that felt kind of weird. John Cena, another guy who's a big press conference guy, big questions guy, did not do any questions. He's also another guy, had this aura of confidence to him that just seemed very smooth, but very different, but very natural in a sense. He pretty much got out there and said, hasn't main evented in a while, hasn't really had these big matches in a while. As he's going into his retirement, he does not care. He is going to get his championship, his 17th championship. He is going to get his main event match at WrestleMania and entered himself into the Elimination Chamber, which was confirmed later that night by Triple H, pretty much saying, yeah, it's John Cena. He does what he wants. I'm not going to tell him no. He also did say he was flying back to Hungary for a movie. I don't know what movie. I haven't looked it up, and I don't really care to. We'll all find out together, I guess. But he said he'd be gone for at least a month. So we'll kind of see how that goes. I believe, I don't have an exact date for Elimination Chamber, but I know it's next month for sure. So obviously he'll be back before then. Maybe we'll get to see him on a couple of Raws or SmackDowns or however he wants to kind of work that out. But yeah, they said he's not qualifying, he's not doing these BS matches. He's in. I did want to point out, aside from having the largest single show gate, Triple H did mention they had people from 48 countries and all 50 states. I don't know how they get that information, but that is pretty cool. That's a lot of countries. And he also did kind of end with, and this is what I'll end with, 2 new shows, which I kind of seen a little bit on about some of them, or about both of them. Particularly Evolve is going to be debuting on Tubi on March 5th. And it seems like from the little bit that I've seen and the little bit that Triple H talked about, it's kind of given like an old school NXT vibe. Triple H kind of talked about it having WWE's ID people and just kind of your performance center people. So I think that'll be kind of interesting to see. It sounds like Evolve was already a thing that they're kind of adding on to. So we'll see how that all mixes in. I believe Evolve was on the WWE Network or on Peacock, if I'm not mistaken. But they were still just doing their own thing. So now we'll see under the WWE umbrella with their people kind of how that goes. And then the next one was Stephanie's Places, which I think is just her interviewing like different wrestlers. The one big clip that everyone's talking about is Stephanie on the yacht with the whole bloodline. And I don't know exactly when this was filmed, but it looks like the entire bloodline, like everyone you think of when you think of the bloodline ever, is on that boat. And they all look happy. They're not throwing each other off. So that was kind of weird. Both of those shows I think will be pretty interesting to watch. But with that being said, that is all the notes that I have. I feel like I talked a lot, but I feel like I talked very fast. So I'm hoping that this video will not be very long. I will say, got my whiteboard up, kind of had some video ideas on there. Not sure if I'll go through with them. I'm thinking about splitting up my channel and getting all my wrestling stuff off of essentially my main channel and either going back into a Wrestling Express mode where that's where everything goes, or having a separate pro wrestling channel and then kind of using my, I guess, current channel for just kind of my basic, a little bit more fitness, just kind of give me a little bit more, I guess, room to work and hopefully kind of trigger up some ideas to kind of keep the creativity juices flowing. With that being said, it's late. I'm ready for bed. I gotta edit this video.